Welcome to the Macaroni Kid Richmond Parent Chat, and I'm your host, CJ Walker. The MKR Parent Chat is a podcast that helps keep parents and guardians informed by sharing valuable information about family programs, services, resources, and events in the Metro Richmond area. So without further ado, let's get started. Today, we're talking with Lauren Isaacson from Midlothian. She's the owner of the Tutoring Hub, a special needs advocate, and an author. We're going to discuss each of those roles shortly, but first, for those meeting you for the first time, Lauren, could you tell us about yourself, where you're from, and what you do, and what led you to start the Tutoring Hub and write a book?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. My name is Lauren Isaacson. I'm originally from the suburbs of Baltimore, Maryland, and just recently moved to the Midlothian, Richmond area, and very excited to explore and find out more about Richmond and its creative side, its wonderful food, and all that it has to offer. So very excited for that. Yes, I am the founder of the Tutoring Hub, Tutoring and Advocacy, and now a published author with the 5 Simple Steps to Understanding Special Education. And both of those kind of came out of a new season of transition in my life, transitioning from education inside the public school systems and moving out of that to help parents and families navigate special education for their children. So I'll talk a little bit more specifically about each of those in a little bit, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Yes, absolutely. So let's start with the book. So the book that you wrote is called 5 Simple Steps to Understanding Special Education, an Essential Guide for Parents and Educators. So can you tell me what inspired you to write this book, and what do you hope your readers will learn from it?
Yeah, so I actually got the idea on a long trip in the car. Sometimes when you're alone with your thoughts, you dream about what is your next big endeavor, and that kind of came about. I was driving to a networking event up in Maryland and had a lot of traffic. And so what do you do during that? You think about, oh, what would I rather be doing than sitting in traffic? So that's where the book idea came to be. And I really just saw a need because of working alongside of a lot of parents that had many questions about special education, what it really means. What are some of these acronyms that they hear about in education with their children? However, they have no idea what they mean or how to go about the process of starting special education. And so it was really there to be a guide for parents and how to navigate some of that specific jargon. And I spent a lot of time in the first chapter just talking about acronyms and not only what they are, but what they mean. And then we kind of roll into the process of what an IEP is and how to navigate that with also building the relationship between parents and the schools. And because I've now been on both ends, I kind of speak to both sides of the story. And that has been a really unique perspective for me to learn throughout this process.
Yes, and I could speak on the side as the parent. I do have 3 children, and my eldest son is on the autistic spectrum. So when he was first diagnosed back in 2015, 2016, we had to go through that process, and I did a lot of research in just about autism in general, and the IAP 504 process. So I was able to communicate with the individuals, in these meetings, and being able to have them provide the services that he needs. And I understand that, a lot of parents, about also in my shoes, some of them don't know where to begin and start. So, with the book, I really appreciate you being able to communicate that on our level. That makes it easier for us to, to go out there and advocate for our children and ensuring that they get what they need educational wise. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. That was kind
What
of my
did you
goal.
learn while writing this book?
I definitely learned a little bit more about myself and just what I kind of reflected on through my experience in both learning at the collegiate level of education wise, but also in the classrooms. And I've had the privilege of working with preschool through collegiate level students in my experience as an educator. And from every single year, I'm gaining more knowledge of hands-on learning from the teacher's perspective than I ever thought I would after leaving college, learning how to be an educator. And so this book is kind of a how-to guide to help new educators as well learn from my experiences and my mistakes, because oftentimes a new special education teacher is going to walk in and they have a few days of training, but they don't know what's really on the other side once the doors open and students come in for their first year and the demands that are required of them. And so this is kind of a guide to help them and say, here are some of the most important aspects of your role as an educator, and here's how they should be done well so that you are working alongside of the parent and the school. So you're that bridge for them. And so that's what I really learned from writing it. And I learned how to speak more like having just a normal conversation with parents on the other side. I wanted it to be very simple and easy to understand, because I think this book is for everyone out there. And so I hope that came across in my words, and it felt like having a cup of coffee with me and just kind of sharing and imparting my knowledge and experience.
Absolutely. Have you signed your child up for summer camp? Check out our summer camp and program guide. Find over 80 summer program listings for kiddos of all ages. Parent Hack Unlocked. Visit our summer camp and program guide on our MKR website. So you're also the owner of the Tutoring Hub. Could you tell us more about the Tutoring Hub, who it's for, and the services that you provide?
Yes, absolutely. So the Tutoring Hub originally started as my side tutoring gig when I was still teaching, because unfortunately, living off of a teaching salary is very difficult this day and age.
Yes.
And I needed the extra money to support everything. And so I started working with students outside of school at libraries or online to help them kind of bridge some of the gaps that they saw, or parents saw a need for some extra attention towards different subjects. And then when I decided to walk away from the classroom, I really saw a need to kind of rebrand and really tap into the advocacy side of things. So I became the Tutoring Hub, Tutoring and Advocacy. And now we do tutoring, both individual, and we're starting some spring break and summer classes, group classes that are very exciting and more hands-on. as well as helping parents figure out, all right, I have an IEP. What's next? Or I want an IEP for my child. What's the process? And kind of working alongside of them, going to meetings, helping them really bridge the relationship between themselves and the school systems. And we're also going to be doing a lot more professional developments for staff and schools in the local area and the greater Virginia area coming up soon. So very exciting for that. Very excited for that opportunity and really helping impart some wisdom of the things that I've learned as an educator over the years that I can now provide to other teachers to help their experience go even better than it was for me. And so it's always nice to kind of give back to the people that kind of helped mentor you. And so that's kind of what I'm hoping to establish moving forward.
Wonderful. And I know that a lot of families here in Metro Richmond area will really find this beneficial. So thank you for providing that for the community. So how do you balance a writing career with other aspects of your life, such as running a tutoring hub and raising a family? What does that look like for you?
I think it could go a little bit better at times. I think balance is very difficult and definitely an area that could always use improvement. So when I wrote the 5 Simple Steps, I actually carved out 4 different days sitting on the patio, kind of dedicating that time without distractions around, and really sat down and wrote. And that meant that I had to say no to a few other things during that time in order to kind of dedicate that time and space to writing. And so now that the book has been released, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. And life is a little bit back to normal so that I don't have deadlines and editing process that can be very tasking and tedious because you're looking at the same words and, oh, do I change this? Do I keep this? And so it's a very nerve-wracking process, but I'm very thankful that it is now out there to the public and ready for everybody to read. But it's definitely hopefully in the future with my writing career, as I'm actually working on something new and a new genre geared towards families still. I hope that writing time is able to be filled with a lot more balance in my life and work and family. And so hopefully I will have learned from this experience and can kind of change some things moving forward with the next book that comes out.
And we're definitely looking forward to the next book. So we have one final question. So here at Macaroni Kid Richmond, we strive to help families find their family fun. So Lauren, our question for you is, what does your family like to do for fun?
So I have 2 kind of answers to that. The first would be our family vacations always have to be active. So we like to be active in when we're not beach people. We don't like to just sit at the beach. So we like to be active when we take family vacations. And so a lot of them are around Disney, Disney inspired. And so we're very excited to go in the fall this year to Walt Disney World and take a family vacation to see all of the Christmas magic that happens there. So that's one aspect that we do just enjoy as a family. And then the second would be cooking and baking. And something unique that we've had to kind of learn is a few years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease. And so I have to eat gluten-free. And navigating that was very difficult to find things like even bread that I can no longer eat, and figuring out how to make those things from home and for them to be tasty and enjoyable for everyone. And so trying new recipes and failing at new recipes has been definitely a fun thing for us to learn together. And it's been very cool to find those successes as well and enjoy those together.
Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Where can people reach you for information about the Tutoring Hub? And also, how can people purchase your book?
Yes. So we have a very big presence on Instagram at the Tutoring Hub, as well as our website, thetutoringhub.com. And to get my book, 5 Simple Steps to Understanding Special Education, it is available on Amazon as well as our website. And if you are looking for a lot of books, like for a community, for maybe a nonprofit or a school system, you can go to thetutoringhub.com. We do get a discount for buying more than just a single copy if you're looking for a group of people.
Thank you for being here, Lauren, and thank you all for watching. Until next time, bye. Subscribe to our website where you'll receive weekly updates on all things MKR.